Hello, my name is Bill Waltman. I'm the president of PYA Waltman Capital. This is my partner, Eric Foster here. And today we want to talk about just some questions that one should ask when choosing a financial advisor. There's a lot of different models out there, and so we thought it might be instructive and helpful for not only our clients, but prospects looking for a financial advisor to consider some questions as they go through their sorting process. You do a very excellent job as being just a natural educator to prospects, to clients, boards that you serve on. But maybe speak to just, the importance of that, but just why that's brings you joy and fulfillment in your profession, because I think you're really good at it.
Sure. Well, thank you. That's kind. I think a super important thing that a new client should spend some time asking themselves as they meet different people on our team is, do I understand what these people are telling me? Obviously, people communicate in different ways. We use different illustrations. We may focus on, different aspects of things in a way to try to educate and coach our clients on things that they should care about, that we think they should care about, in order to feel like they're being well served. And that's a place that I think is really beneficial to watch a client come in and maybe on the front end to say, hey, I've never really understood this stuff and how it works. And so I'm looking for help. And that's understandable. There's plenty of things in my life and in your life that we have no clue how they work. No one's going to be an expert in everything. But I think it's important to you too, and it's important to our firm to not just stop there. I want our clients, and you want our clients, we want to we don't want to make them securities analysts and experts on arcane things that they don't really care about. But I do think it's important. It's important for folks to understand to some level what we do and why we do it. And as you know, when that really comes into relevance is when we have something in the world that kicks up a bunch of dust. Is it a pandemic? Is it tariff talk? Is it whatever? It is, because that's when behavior becomes relevant. And as you know, one of the things, maybe our most important job that we ever do, is to help people not make mistakes. And how do we protect our clients from doing something at the wrong time in a way that can hurt them materially? And so one of the ways that I think about it, and you as well, I know, is how do we raise the education level of our clients to understand as much as they want, not to force feed to understand too much, but how do they walk out of our office and say, these guys, this team spends a lot of time and is very deliberate in the decisions that they make, when they make them. They're my advocate. They're not panicked. They're looking for opportunities when other people are panicked. And so to me, that's the real value of teaching and trying to educate and inform, is at the end of the day, I think it helps us help our clients better, and it helps our clients be better clients, and it avoids them from making mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think with that, something that comes to mind that was triggered when you said that is, I think it's important to ask advisors. There's a lot of advisors that can do a lot of good work, but also will promise certain things. And I think it's also important to understand what are the things you won't promise me as a prospect or a client. And as you know, we tell our internal staff and investment committee meetings that we're not soothsayers. My crystal ball is no better than your crystal ball. And so we're not going to pretend as though we know what the future is going to hold. If you went to 2019 and said, what's going to happen in 2020? If you're honest, I think 0 people in the world probably would say we're going to have a global pandemic and shut down the economy. that was a complete surprise. And so to try to guess about the future is just that, a guess. So we're not going to pretend to know the future, and frankly, we don't think it's important that you need to know that. What's important is to control the things that you can control, and we're going to focus on that. And those things typically are building a plan that fits your life, of course, planning for your liquidity needs so you never have to be a forced seller in a down market. So if we've stored up your spending needs, that's planned for, so we don't have to worry about the downturn when it comes, whenever that might be. And also focusing on, minimizing taxes as best we can, building an efficient portfolio. And as you said, rightly so, avoiding the mistakes. And those tend to be, as you said, around behaviors. So Buffett makes the statement that, successful investing has more to do with controlling behaviors than it does with IQ. It was only about IQ, all the geniuses in the world would be billionaires, and we know that's not true. So our job is to control the things that we can control, help our clients focus on those things, plan for the unexpected events because we know they're going to happen. We just don't know what they are, and we're not going to spend our time trying to guess what those will be. And making their plan resilient so that they have peace of mind at the end of the day that no matter what comes, my family's going to be fine. And that's what we focus on.
Bill, expand a little bit on something that our clients never see, which is a role that you play and that I play and some other professionals at our firm play, which is talk a little bit about the way we make investment decisions through an investment committee. What are those meetings like? Are they debates? Do we always agree on everything? How do we mold different opinions on things? Talk a little bit about that, because as you know, that's a really important part of what we do. And it's also something that our clients don't see because we don't do that in front of them. We obviously explain the decisions. Every decision we make is transparent. It's immediately seen by clients. And I know you, as I do, would spend time saying, hey, here's some new changes that have been made and here's why we made them. But talk a little bit about what goes on in an investment committee meeting and what the role of that committee is.
Yeah, so we have an investment committee, as you know, and that's typically 6 to 8 people that sit on that committee. And the point of the committee is to talk about our different investment strategies that we run for the benefit of our clients. And what we're trying to do as a committee is to make sure, one, that we're staying on top of the strategies. What are the businesses that are in them? And that's an important term, is that one of our core tenets of our investment philosophy, as you well know, is that we believe we're investing in operating businesses that produce real cash flows, and we're able to participate in those cash flows for our clients' benefit and the growth of their capital long term. We do not think about ticker symbols on a ticker tape, so to speak. We're trading things. So we're not a trading firm. We're not going to try to compete with people who are doing those type of things. We're focused on durable businesses that generate real cash flows that, as Buffett would say, have a moat around them, a protective moat, that are well managed by individuals who take those excess cash flows and invest them in accretive opportunities to grow your money and your capital. So the investment committee's responsibility around that is to make sure that we're staying abreast on what's going on in the market, but most importantly with those individual companies or investments that are in those strategies. And we have a lot of debate around that. So we think it's a weakness if we all agree all the time. So as you know, I won't bring up particular things, but there's things that we've spent an hour and a half going around the table back and forth over, and there's very strong opinions for and against certain things. And that's a healthy process because it challenges our thinking and hopefully makes us better decision makers for the benefit of our clients. And we do that at least twice a month. We obviously do it informally in the hallway and in side conversations daily, but we sit down in a structured format to talk about our strategies, the investments that we're following. And it's also important to know that those investment decisions are made here in this office. They're not made in New York or Chicago or outsourced to an investment consultant. Some firms choose that model, but we want to choose to do that here because we think, one, if we're responsible for our clients, then we want to be responsible and understand those investments inside and out and not outsource that. Two, there's a benefit, as you know, that they're paying us a fee to manage assets and do planning for them. And if we hire an outside party to participate in that as well, there's an additional fee associated with that. So it's for the benefit of the client to lower the fee as well. And three, not to the exact same degree within the strategies, but we tend to eat our own cooking. I mean, things that are in our clients' portfolios, you know, in your family's portfolio, my family's portfolio. And that's just a belief. If it's good enough for a client, it should be good enough for me and my family. Finally, I would say just the research side of what we do. You mentioned we've got research analysts on staff who are very capable. I kid with clients, but it's true. Both those individuals don't play golf. They don't do a lot of things. They're in their offices 8 to 10 hours a day doing research on the companies that we own and are following. We're building valuation models on what we think those companies are worth. We're updating that. We're listening to conference calls. So it's a very exhaustive process to stay on top of the investments that we own for our clients. It's not a part-time job where, you know, today I'm the sales guy, tomorrow I'm the advisor, and today I'm the investment research analyst. We have specialized roles within the firm because we think it takes that level of intensity and intentionality to benefit our clients long term.